Good morning. The stakes are very high this election day as voters decide the balance of power in Washington and state capitals across the country. A lot to unpack. Joining us now to do just that is political science professor Dr. Bilal Sekou from the University of Hartford. Doctor, thank you so much once again for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Good morning once again.
Good morning. So during the last hour, we talked about the race for governor, Connecticut's 5th congressional district as well. Now let's talk about the U.S. Senate race. Senator Richard Blumenthal hoping to keep his seat as he faces Republican Leora Levy. Polls show Blumenthal with a comfortable double-digit lead. What can we expect in this race?
This is a race that, the polls, I think, are really accurate. Senator Blumenthal, of course, has been around Connecticut politics for decades. He's someone who's well known in the state. Voters know about his record, where he stands. Levy has a big challenge in front of her if she's going to upset him today. Nothing with the polling suggests that will be the case.
And this race making headlines in part because of Levy's endorsement from former President Donald Trump, which helped her clinch that GOP nomination in a bit of a surprise in that race. How has that endorsement potentially played a role in this election? Are voters going to be thinking about that?
Oh, absolutely. Without that endorsement, it's probably unlikely that she would have been able to win in the primary. And so that took her over the top. Connecticut, of course, is not Florida, it's not Texas, it's not one of those states where Trump probably plays a lot bigger in that state. And so to some extent, that endorsement may have hurt her with some unaffiliated voters here in the state of Connecticut who are not as, excited about the Trump agenda and having Donald Trump's endorsement to bring them out to the polls.
And throughout this election season, both parties focusing on different issues as they make their pitches. Democrats really highlighting abortion access and the passing of the Inflation Reduction Act. Republicans really honing in on the economy, inflation, crime. What are voters really thinking about as they head to the polls today?
Well, if the polling data are correct, the economy, especially inflation, is really at the top. Abortion ranks second. I imagine if you were to break that down between Republicans and Democrats, the economy and crime would be really high among Republicans. On the other hand, if you look at Democratic voters, you're probably going to see abortion, for example, being an issue that's high on their list. And so, it really will depend on how unaffiliates break here in Connecticut. My suspicion is that, the Democrats, with the exception of Jonna Hayes, which I think is more of a toss-up, that the Democrats will probably be safe in winning back their seats.
Both of these parties really hoping their messages get them that control. You talk about that toss-up race in the 5th congressional district. Republicans need a net pickup, just 5 seats to take back the House. Break down the big races across the nation to keep a close eye, and including that one here in Connecticut, the 5th congressional district.
Right. So obviously, as far as House races are concerned here in Connecticut, the 5th is the one that everyone will be watching to see what those results are tonight. I think we will probably go deep into the night with some of the counting that needs to go on with the record turnout of early voting that has gone through absentee ballots, right? Not early voting. But, again, those ballots need to be counted. I think nationally, as I said before, the eyes will be on Pennsylvania, they'll be on Georgia, they'll be on Wisconsin. Those are key seats. If the Republicans are able to hold on to Wisconsin and Ron Johnson is able to beat Mandela Barnes, then you're looking at, Republicans having some momentum perhaps towards trying to, take back control of the Senate. Pennsylvania and Georgia follow suit as well. Those are seats that Democrats hope to be able to hold on to or to pick up. And if they're able to do that, I think it increases the likelihood they'll be able to hold on to the Senate. It's really uncertain how many seats Republicans may pick up with regard to the House. Clearly with redistricting that took place across the country, Republicans having control of a number of states in which they drew up the district boundaries, it really suggests that they're going to make some gains. But again, record turnout, which may suggest that a lot of Democrats are excited. Normally, midterm elections favor Republicans. Maybe there are a lot of Democrats who are going to show up. So, hold your hat and just sit back and wait to see what these results will actually be.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens. Dr. Bilal Sekou, thank you so much once again for joining us. I really appreciate your time and great analysis.
Thanks a lot.
You got it. Tim and Erica, I will send things back over to you.